Estimates for the new regional landfill to be located in Sioux County continue to spike as inflation continues to rise. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News, powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, as it has been with nearly all goods and services across the country, inflation is having an impact on the potential cost of the regional landfill proposed in Sioux County north of Scottsbluff. About 1 month ago, the city of Gering asked the project engineer to revisit the projected costs of constructing the facility, and City Administrator Pat Heath says nearly every aspect of the project will cost more than the original projections.
You're going to have a shop out there and a couple storage buildings. You're going to have scale. Those things are considerably higher. And then, of course, the dirt work's going to be high because of the equipment costs and the fuel costs. And the liners went up some, not as high as I thought they would, but they're still up there for the poly liners for the bottom of the landfill. So the biggest cost is going to be, getting the thing constructed.
Heath says they did increase the size of the initial cell, and once that is done, the cost for additional cells drops by a considerable amount. He says the environmental and archaeological reviews came back clean, so now the focus is on securing costs, hammering out the operational interlocal agreement, and perhaps seeking additional funds ahead of a conditional use permit from Sioux County and a permit approved by the state. Well, the Scottsbluff City Council this week approved a 4-year extension of the interlocal agreement with Scottsbluff County, which guarantees medical response and support by Valley Ambulance. Before the vote, Valley Ambulance President Randy Meininger told the council it's been a long-standing agreement to ensure emergency medical services are available.
The resolution's been in effect since 1974. It was revised in 1984 and has remained the same since then. So what this does is it just gives you a guarantee that services are available and provided in the city of Scottsbluff with that.
Interim City Manager Kevin Spencer told the group the agreement is a bargain, with the county, Scottsbluff, and Gering paying a total of no more than $3,600 a month. The motion on the resolution extending the agreement passed unanimously. We'll have more news right after this.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether it is building, buying, or renovating, we have the home loan or home equity line of credit to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Welcome back. A rural Scottsbluff man who failed to show up for his trial for allegedly exploiting a vulnerable elderly woman by forging names on 2 real estate documents with her name and trying to sell the associated property is back in custody. 50-year-old Barry Neal was set to stand trial last week on charges of abuse of a vulnerable adult, second-degree forgery over $5,000, and attempted theft by taking with a value of over $5,000. Neal failed to appear for jury selection and trial last week in Scottsbluff County District Court, and a warrant for his arrest was issued. Court records show that Neal was arrested and booked into the Scottsbluff County Detention Center Saturday evening. No word on the new trial date as of broadcast time. Well, a section of Highway 26 east of Henry was closed down to traffic midday Tuesday. Shortly before noon, first responders were dispatched to a rollover crash between County Roads 3 and 4. A pickup towing a trailer lost control and rolled onto the north shoulder of the highway. Crews were on scene for approximately 30 minutes working to safely rescue the driver, who did not sustain any injuries. A cause of the crash has not been released by the Nebraska State Patrol. And a bird flu outbreak in the U.S. that led to the deaths of more than 40 million chickens and turkeys and contributed to a spike in egg and meat prices appears to be waning, But experts caution the virus has not disappeared and worry another surge could take place this fall. The Department of Agriculture is not ready to say the outbreak is winding down, but some agriculture and industry officials are optimistic the end is near as hot weather spreads across the country. The cost of the outbreak is still being tallied by the USDA, but has already approved $793 million in additional funding this year. Well, still to come, we will head on over to the Panhandle Humane Society to meet their featured Pet of the Week. KNEB.TV News will be back right after the break.
Why love a rain garden? Let me count the ways. Rain gardens contain and filter water runoff while recharging our underground water supply. They provide habitat for birds, bees, and beneficial insects. Native perennials give 4 seasons of color and texture, beautifying a home while increasing its value. Established gardens are low-maintenance, low-water landscape features, colorful, functional, and sustainable. Rain gardens, brought to you by Tri-City Stormwater. Our water, our responsibility.
I really like how our OB department takes our limited amount of doctors and turns it into a strength. Even though we only have a couple of people, you get to know them well over your entire pregnancy. We have 2 state-of-the-art labor rooms that are new with our last addition. We have a couple of very nice postpartum rooms also right here in the hospital so they can get as much time with mom and baby as possible.
Welcome back. For this week's featured Pet of the Week, we meet Wally, a 9-year-old senior cat that needs a home to ride out his final few years. Wally may be a little shy at first, but once you give him a chance to open up to you, he will get close and snuggle. His adoption cost is just $25, which includes his neutering costs, microchipping, and vaccinations. Plus, his adopters will also receive a $25 Murdoch's card, so you can start spoiling him right away.
Welcome to Kelly's, home of the Valley's best selection of wine, spirits, and beer. Whether you're brand loyal to the tried and true brew or really enjoy trying something different and new, Kelly's has something for everyone. Family owned and operated and right on your way on West 27th Street in Scotts Bluff. Kelly's Liquor. If you can't find it at Kelly's, it's not worth drinking.
Well, let's take a peek at what's happening on your midweek community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. First State Bank is now Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the same people you know and trust.
Panhandle Trails Intercity Public Transit, based in Alliance, Nebraska, is the only intercity bus serving Nebraska Panhandle communities and Pine Ridge, South Dakota. Panhandle Trails operates a regularly scheduled bus service, assisting you in making connections with Greyhound bus partners, regional airports, healthcare, employment and education opportunities, shopping, family, friends, and more. Panhandle Trails serves the general public of all ages and offers accessible transportation for those with special mobility needs. Let Panhandle Trails help you make your connection. Call 308-761-8747.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you take advantage of every adventure. We know you have plans, goals, and dreams. Let us help you with them. Whether you are just starting the business you have always imagined or looking to grow your existing one, we have a business loan to fit your needs. Stop in and see us at Platte Valley Bank and let us help make your dreams a reality. You belong here. Platte Valley Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
And finally tonight, now that it's officially summer, residents in Morrill have a reason to celebrate. This spring, contractors were hired to work on the city pool to fill cracks as too much water was leaking from it. Once the cracks were filled, it had to be pressure washed and painted. This week, the pool was filled with water and the boilers were turned on, meaning the Morrill City Pool is set to open and welcome its first swimmers of 2022 this Friday. The pool is open 7 days a week and gates open at 1 p.m. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.